Good evening and welcome to yet another edition of the Democratic Newsroom. Because in this day and age, there are very few things that actually get a rise when it comes down to the civil society. There has been one issue which has got the Delhi-NCR region, and not just the Delhi-NCR region, but practically the country completely divided. And that was the Supreme Court order on the strays in the National Capital Region, ordering that in the next 8 weeks, which is 2 months, every stray needs to be removed, stray dog, from the streets of the national capital and put in shelters. Well, that wasn't met with an amiable response which came in from dog lovers, animal rights activists, feeders. So a massive face-off is brewing on the streets of the national capital, where protest after protest. The matter now is going to be heard again in court. It's also something that's got our newsroom divided. So the big newsroom, Democratic Newsroom Dogfight, shelter or streets for Delhi strays. Let's throw it open. I have with me, and we have a very colorful panel, Pooja Shali, my colleague. We have Sneha Murdani, I have Akshita, I have Gaurav Sawant, I have Anisha. Anisha, very quickly take us through on what's going on in Supreme Court with the issue.
Well, today the issue of what to do about the Monday order, which has got everybody riled up, came before a 3-judge bench, and the court has reserved its order. We are still waiting for that order to be pronounced, whether the Monday order will be stayed or not, because remember, even today, the 3-judge bench has also questioned the authorities. When the rules exist, when there are rules for sterilization, vaccination of dogs, to reduce the population of stray dogs, why are these not being followed? What exactly are the authorities doing? That is the question that the court has asked. Of course, as I said, we're still waiting for the order. If the Monday order, which said remove all dogs immediately, that is going to be stayed by this larger bench. The big question by the court is really, what have the authorities been doing all these years? Why has the stray dog population been allowed to go haywire?
You know, one thing is clear, Anisha, and I'm going to bring you in exactly, you can answer that for our viewers. The fact is that Delhi does have a dog menace issue, especially the Delhi-NCR region. We have the highest recorded dog bites, #1. We also have the highest number of dog population, which by accounts, though there hasn't been any census, seem to suggest we are between the 9 to 10 lakh mark. The question which most dog lovers have taken heart in is the CGI saying, I'm going to look into the matter. What does that mean? #1 and #2, while we are waiting for the Supreme Court to hear the matter, has the rounding up of dogs in the NCR region started?
See, that is why the petitions have come now, and today,
so they've started.
They have started, and that is why a 3-judge bench was specially constituted by the CJI, and that bench heard this matter today, and we're waiting for that bench to pass its order. Because remember, yesterday when the animal rights activists had gone to the Supreme Court before the Chief Justice, saying that this issue needs to be heard quickly, is because they have started rounding up the dogs in a state where we don't have any dog shelters. Even if you pick up the 100 dogs, 500 dogs, or however many dogs that you do find, where exactly are you going to take them? There are no shelters. There are only 20 MCD-run ABC centers. By the way, these are not shelters.
Not shelters.
These are short-term stay areas only.
So, for our viewers, you've heard what's going on in the legal domain, but there's so much going on outside the courts there where opinion counts. And let's throw it now open. Streets or shelter? Gaurav, go first.
So my point is, civilizationally, when you look at Bharat's civilizationally, we're a country where man and his dog have been very close. Take, for example, Dharmraj Yudhishthir. Dharmraj Yudhishthir refused to go to heaven without his loyal dog accompanying him, because that dog had been with him throughout that journey. So that's a fact. We are people. Look at the Indus Valley civilization in Harappa. There are so many examples of figurines of dogs being with their masters. At the same time, it's also a fact, 36% of all rabies deaths in the world happen in India. So while we want our dogs, you don't want strays on the streets where your children cannot go out and play, where the elderly cannot go out for their morning walk, because the moment they step out, if they're hunted by a pack of dogs, the elderly, they're so scared, they fall down. The children, they're scared to go to schools. So first, in our times, our mothers had to pull us back from outside. Come back in and study. Now mothers have to tell their children, go out and play. Children are either on their mobile phones or they're scared of dogs and they don't want to go out and play. So please, let's have a safe environment. Let's create a safe environment. You know what Gautam Buddha had said? Gautam Buddha had talked about the Madhyam Marg, the middle path. Let's come together, find that middle path.
What do you make of the Supreme Court order, Gaurav? Do you think it's in the right spirit and it should be implemented?
Absolutely. The Supreme Court order, start with 5,000 dogs, put them in shelters, let the authorities deliver, and nobody is saying cull the dogs. Nobody is saying cull the dogs.
But many are saying that.
No.
Okay. Make your point.
You're
Yeah.
presuming that is what it is.
You're presuming they'll be in shelters then?
So, look, fine, the authorities haven't done their work effectively, but start small. You know, dog lovers,
you're
right?
saying-
So
you're saying
whoever
your
loves a
fault.
whoever loves a dog,
For the
please take that dog home. Look after
my
that dog
God.
so well.
Okay, so
oh
Gaurav,
my God, have the dog feed it and put it in the
I'm
street.
going to try and ask like direct
No,
questions.
take the dog home.
When it comes down, put the one second, one by one, guys. Let's just go one by one. Let's go one by one. So you are essentially for the motion that dogs need to be put in shelters. They need to be off the streets. You agree with the Supreme Court order? Yes.
The dogs which are, no, it's a nuanced debate. That's why I say Madhyam Marg. The dogs that will attack little children when they come out and play. The dogs that hunt the elderly.
but
The
that's
dogs
not
that are out in packs.
But
Look,
that's not
we're a
the
civilized society. No, we're a civilized society.
Okay.
Identify those dogs and take them out. It happens world over.
That
Okay.
we're not doing.
So do it.
Okay, let me get Akshata in because Akshata has been rolling her eyes through, and then we come to both Pooja and
Because
Sneha.
my biggest grouse is when anyone speaks out against the Supreme Court, oh, why aren't you taking these dogs home? It's the stupidest argument ever. Because
I'm sorry, I don't
okay,
like this
someone
name
has-
calling. No name
I
calling.
said social media. I don't know why you're getting
no.
out.
This
Why
is
are
the
you
stupidest.
getting offended?
No,
I'm
it's
talking about
the
social media.
stupidest thing.
I
Why
was-
is it
she's
stupidest
not
thing?
You need to
about-
listen
she's
to what I
talking
say,
about
not
what's on
listen to a
social
few
media.
words. Please listen to the full
I mean,
sentence before you
seriously,
react.
only those who lack an
Those who are
argument
on
use
social
words like
media-
stupid.
But let me
Okay,
explain
everyone
it. For
calm
those who
down.
say
Take it
on
down a
social
notch.
media,
Yeah.
my simple explanation is this. Then every single person who's like, oh my God, you should get rid of the strays. Am I saying you should go and shoot them dead on your own? It's the same explanation, right? Go do this and then get them home. It's the same explanation, the same comparison. Am I saying that? Am I saying you want to deal with the strays? Go shoot them yourself. Of course not. We have authorities for a reason. And I'm sorry, the authorities did nothing right up until now. They did nothing about animal birth control, which is why we're having this problem. So no, I don't trust them. And let me just say here that, I don't trust them with going ahead and doing any of the shelter nonsense. There is going to be no shelter. This is not mentioned as in the Supreme Court that, this is a death sentence or they will be culling, but that is effectively what they will do. Because I do not
Presumption.
trust these authorities, just as I would refuse to presume that they will be put in
Presumption.
shelters.
Okay.
But anyway, clearly Gaurav is not convinced by me.
Okay.
So I'm going to, and I suspect that everyone here will have an argument against having stray dogs out on the streets. So I'm hoping to get a little backing and hopefully convince all of you, Gaurav, and hopefully put a smile on your face as well with my guest who's coming in.
Oh God,
I'll just
that is
quickly-
a terribly cute guest.
I know some of you are scared, but this is just because I want to show how lovely they can be, how sweet. This is Amy. Say hi.
Hi. Hi, Amy.
Say hi, Amy. Gaurav.
So Amy's from
Okay,
a dog
this is
shelter.
just this is derailing the
Yeah,
debate
this
by
is-
bringing in a really
No.
cute party.
What beautiful. How beautiful.
I'm
So
using an
Amy's
emoji.
beautiful,
Okay, don't
right?
scream. Okay, one second,
Amy's
don't
from a dog
scream,
shelter.
guys.
Yes.
Amy's from a dog
Okay, one
shelter.
second.
And we'll go back to her dog shelter.
Okay,
Not a
she's
government
okay.
shelter.
Let's
Sorry,
okay.
baby girl.
No,
Sorry,
it's a
baby girl.
great
Okay,
idea.
guys.
Maybe you can take Amy
I think
home.
what we all
You
need
can
to
give
do
Amy a
is
loving
we
home.
need to bring it down a notch because we are stressing little Amy out.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to let Amy sit in.
With some people also here.
Okay, I
I'm
know.
not going
I
to be
understand.
talking much
But
after
okay.
this.
So now, what Akshata said is, and I'll bring you in Pooja, and we're going to get in
Amy
a
has a
word from the
beautiful
caretaker
home
as
soon,
well.
I'm
So
sure.
I'm going to bring in Pooja.
least you're
because
not shooting them
Akshata,
dead.
one second. So Akshata had a point, Pooja, because the point is, okay, I'll give you an example. You look at the MCD. The MCD is the one who was responsible for the carrying out the sterilization process, animal birth control, where the Delhi region was concerned, right? Their money given to them, their budget was 500 crores. Out of that 500 crores, the MCD has used just 70 lakhs on shelter. The MCD has abysmally failed, while with the same amount of money, and Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand has done really well. So today we are entrusting, because if you look at the Supreme Court order, you're entrusting the same MCD to carry out this operation of taking these dogs and housing them in shelters when you know that they have failed in the
Preeti,
first
there's been
place.
complete inaction by the municipal authorities on what they were supposed to do, which wouldn't have led us to this desperate measure. But these are desperate times. I wanted to make a point though, but because a special guest has come into our newsroom, my maternal instincts are flowing. But I have to also add here, while this is the cutest puppy I've seen in a while, but let's also remember that recently, I'm sure this puppy is being taken care of very well. But it's not that pups are not dangerous either. We've had a case of a fit kabaddi player, Brijesh Solanki in Uttar Pradesh, who we've seen the video was so horrific because he was bitten. He possibly didn't get the vaccinations in time. But eventually he did die. So we have to be very cautious of what the situation is presently. And he rescued the baby. So we have to also look at the kind of atmosphere there is. And there is a reason. There is a reason that when this order came in by the court, there were people from other states online who said, why just Delhi-NCR? I was getting messages. Why not Karnataka? Why not Tamil Nadu? Why not other states? So people have connected to what they see is a larger message. And please, I am an animal lover, but yeah.
Pooja, would you like to touch her?
Thank you.
Pooja,
Not
Pooja,
right now.
you know, okay, but I'm going to get in a quick word from the caretaker. And if you can, you know, tell us, she's come from a shelter from the Noida.
We have found her on road, abandoned. Someone abandoned her.
Someone abandoned this little puppy. Do you think that there can be enough shelters for the number of dogs that we see? Is it practical?
No, never.
You don't think it's practical? Why do you say that, sir?
Because we need a lot of crores
A lot of
to
money.
build 10 shelters.
We don't have them.
Yeah.
So are you saying that if the order is a death wish for the various strays,
We have to fight against it.
you think we need to fight against it? Okay, you know, I don't want to derail this whole conversation. More so, I don't want to influence this conversation by putting a really cute puppy in the midst of it, because it's a serious, a conversation that needs to have, needs to happen. And today I want to bring you into this because ultimately, you know, you can be a dog lover and you can take that high moral ground and look down on people who are saying, take the dogs away. Because somewhere down the line, you are in complete denial of what the ground reality is. It is a fact. We can sit in gated communities as a dog lover and constantly pitch in for the dogs and say, how dare you do that? It's inhuman, it's cruel. But try explaining that to a mother who's taking her child in the morning in Narela or in some other place to school where the kid gets attacked, or a delivery agent who's coming on a bicycle and is attacked by a pack of dogs. So there is a problem.
There is a class issue here.
There is a clear problem which needs to be addressed, but is this the solution?
You know, I don't think there is any other solution as of now. The Supreme Court is coming, it's very clear, from a place of frustration. Today the court said that the local authorities have not done their job, and I think this is the only possible solution, and I think, to my mind, this is the only humane solution at this point in time. Now look at the death fatality of rabies. It's 100%. I've known, and there have been instances of people taking the vaccination and doing what they can after a dog has bitten them, but then they still end up developing symptoms, and when you know that you have the symptoms, you're dead. There's no way you can recover.
And it's a very painful death.
It's very painful
very
death.
painful
I
death.
recall in Ghaziabad, there was a young child who died in his father's arms in an ambulance. It was painful. Now it causes inconvenience to so many people. And like I said, this seems to be the only possible and doable solution. Sterilization, you know, all of these measures that were ideally to be done and followed up by the authorities have not been done. So this is what looks like the most doable thing at this point in time. What else?
Zero infrastructure.
How can the court not trust the same authorities to do
They don't.
what they haven't
They
done? What they haven't done.
They put them on to blame.
I have a question. No, 1 second. Okay. What do you think is the solution?
I will tell you.
What do you think?
Setting
Is
up
it
shelters, setting up a proper ABC system, actually sterilizing
So this
the
is a
dogs.
beginning. This is a
और
step.
तब
This is
तक वो
not
बच्चों को
beginning.
काटते रहे.
This is not
But
a
till then the elderly should not step on
Okay,
their
the
hands.
argument is let's say that suddenly an MCD that has failed abysmally in carrying out
Is
the
forced
ABC,
to do it.
Who is forcing whom? They're
No,
not
what
doing
is
anything.
I'll tell you what,
Spotlight on this
one
issue
second,
now.
I'll tell
Anisha,
you.
for once there is spotlight on this issue. The
Fair point.
country is divided.
I
We are
agree.
divided. provide it.
Fair
you know?
point. So the fact is, yes.
Expect, I mean, perhaps they can
and
deliver
we
more
expect
better.
the municipal corporations to actually
No,
do
no,
something.
you know, Anisha, for people who pay high taxes, like somebody like me, I can't go cycling in the morning because I'm so afraid that 2 dogs will come running after me. And it's not like I'm an animal hater, but I'm just afraid of the stray animals.
Preeti, I want
And
to-
one more
I'll
point.
come back to you.
It's
One
not
second,
just
okay.
for dogs. Let me also tell you.
It's
I
for
think the
all-
court should have
all
extended
animals.
this to bulls, to cows, to
And
monkeys,
that is
to
exactly the
everyone. Do
point. The
something
ABC
about
rules are
everyone.
for all of them.
Okay,
for
but-
all
but-
communal
Anisha,
activities.
okay,
Animals
let me go one
are
by one
supposed to
again.
be-
I want
attacks
one
like-
second.
yes.
Let Anisha, let's go one by one. Let's not interrupt anyone. I'll come to you right now. The fact is, there's a clear point that Sneha is trying to make, and she echoes the sentiment of many people who live in the Delhi-NCR region. Or
Fair
what you
enough.
say right now is carry out, like Akshata also said, proper sterilization program. You're entrusting, which you guys are right. You can't entrust the same agency that has failed in this completely abysmally. But the larger question, there are still 9 to 10 lakh dogs right now. Let's say it's going to do its job slowly. You're going to do that sterilization program. What about the dogs that are currently still there? Are they going to continue biting the people of the NCR region? What's the solution to the ones that are already there?
So my question to that is from the other side. Fine, there are 9 lakh dogs according to you in Delhi NCR.
This is just
Pick
a
them
vague
all-
MCD figure.
I'm saying something. I'm making a point here. What are you going to do with them? Even if you round them all up, put them, where is that somewhere you will put them? Because a dog by nature is a territorial animal. The moment you put 5 dogs in one shelter, there will be fights. Effectively, you are giving a death sentence to all of these dogs. And I agree that aggressive dogs need to be taken care of, which is why the ABC rules exist, which is why it says if a dog bites, if a dog attacks, you round it up, take it, treat it, and then put it back. You've not rounded them up when they were biting. You've not treated them when they were biting. You have done nothing, and suddenly you want to take hundreds of dogs and put them God knows where, because we don't.
entrust
you
the
don't
same
have-
authorities who did
Fair
nothing
point.
right
There
now.
is no shelter.
Allow me to flip the same
And it's
argument.
not just dogs, it's all stray
fair
animals.
Point. Gaurav, allow me to flip this argument, because many say that, listen, dogs are a part of the scavenging chain where the ecology is concerned. You take dogs out, then you have a burgeoning population of cats, of rodents, of monkeys. Number 2, you try and put them in shelter. The number that we're looking at is then the Delhi government has to spend more on dogs than it spends on even in public health. You're going to make a biohazard. You're putting them all in one area, and that is also a center of disease.
And
How do
that's
you
why the
answer that?
Supreme Court has taken. Look, they are intelligent people. The judges have heard all sides of the story, and that's why they're coming up with solutions. So they're not saying
To
round
be
up
fair,
all
the Monday
10
order
lakhs.
was not
Allow
on after hearing
everyone
multiple
to speak.
people.
Yeah,
it's,
make your
it's
point.
not, it's not, look, are you also doubting that they're intelligent people?
Nope.
They will apply their minds.
Allow
they have applied their
everyone to
minds.
have their say.
So
Make
they've
your
applied
point.
their minds, and in their judgment, the society has to be safe for children. The society has to be safe for elderly. That the Supreme Court is very clear about. Point 1. Point 2, round up the dogs that are biting, and you know which are the dogs that are biting in every area. You round them up first. What are best practices that are followed world over? You see what happens in New York, for example. They round up dogs, whichever dog is biting any individual in a locality, they neuter that dog. They don't release that dog in that same society again. That dog is either put up for adoption. If that dog, so many dog lovers, let them adopt those dogs, give them a very happy home. If they're unwilling to give them happy homes, don't leave them out to, your love for a dog on the street cannot be more important than anybody
agree.
else's right to safety
Feed
on the
them.
street.
Feed them wherever.
You know,
They
so
feed them
one by
at
one,
every
I'll
nook
come
and
back to
corner of the street.
dangerous dogs that bite, put them down. It happens world over.
Yeah, it
Okay, let
happens.
me.
That's
of
what I
course,
said. This is
true.
the most humane
allow,
way of doing it.
Allow
Exactly. What
Akshata.
our rules
1 second.
also
Allow
say.
Akshata to come in.
So
Akshata,
first
make
of
your
all, let me
point.
make it very clear that look, we're not saying there should be stray dogs. We recognize the fact that every developed country doesn't have this menace. But having said that, the situation is not going to suddenly, become perfect by throwing them away. This is essentially looking the other way, right? You're just packing them away so you don't have to deal with the issue. You don't have to deal with the problem. There's a reason that the ABC program exists, because it's worked in other countries. Now, everyone will laugh if I refer to the Netherlands, because everyone thinks, oh my God, Netherlands is so beautiful. India can never be that. The reality
Look
is
at
that
the
in
population
Netherlands,
difference in the two countries.
reality is Yes, we're talking about dogs, not humans. But anyway, look at the
Even
fact,
dogs.
Just what is the population of dogs in Netherlands?
The population
That's my
difference of
point.
dogs
Okay,
and
allow,
in
allow.
India.
That's my
Everyone.
point.
Seriously.
Anyway, the
I mean, let's
program
have an
there-
intelligent debate,
Oh,
yeah?
please, let's
Okay,
not get down to adopt.
Okay.
Okay,
That's
let's-
very intelligent.
Okay, calm down.
Anyway.
Let's make your point.
The Netherlands policy is very clear of neuter, vaccinate, sterilize, which is what we ideally should have done. We haven't done it, so we're essentially paying the price for that now. Look, I'm at no point saying that stray dogs who are dangerous, and I agree with all of you there, stray dogs who are dangerous, who have rabies, who eventually also die because they have rabies, you must immediately identify them. They haven't done that, which is why you have dog bites. And as for, people being safe out there, I'm sorry, the streets of India are not safe. Are we
Okay.
seriously suggesting that dogs are the only issue on the
Okay,
streets
let
of
me go
India?
because, oh
And
my
are we not
God,
going to
so
talk
because
about
they're not
rapists,
safe,
about
so that is why
rapists,
let
about
rabid
chain
dogs also
snatchers?
bite
allow me
people.
to, allow me
Did
to
I
go.
say
Seriously?
Okay, one
I mean,
second.
really?
Seriously,
Did you not
this
hear
is
me
the
at all?
debate that we're
Did
having?
you not hear me at all?
I mean,
Okay, allow me to go to
it's
Pooja.
bizarre. the
Okay,
way
allow
he's-
me to.
I mean, I'm
Allow-
very disappointed
allow
with
me
this.
to
I'm
go
glad
Very
you heard,
disappointed.
because
Okay.
I'm disappointed how I'm being misquoted left, right,
Okay,
and center.
allow me to go to Pooja. All right, the fact is, Pooja, Akshata gave an example of Netherlands. Let me give you examples which are internal. I'll give you the example of Dehradun. I'll give you the example of Ranikhet had a rabies problem, had a rabies breakout. Dehradun, Lucknow, Bombay, all of them had a dog menace problem. Over 5 years, they were able to contain it because they had the BMC, where Bombay was concerned, they actually put their money where their mouth was, which is in sterilization and the ABC program. It's known to have happened in our own country. We don't need to look at any other country to do so. This is the way forward.
Preeti, you're giving other examples. I'll give you my own examples. I have got rabies shots done and an immunoglobulin because I was attacked by a pack of dogs. Not in Delhi-NCR, a few years ago. And I can tell you, I could not have saved myself. I'm an adult human. Had it not been a friend who pulled me out of that, I would have most likely been killed. I was not just bitten, I was attacked by that pack of dogs, again at night. Now, it was an exhaustive schedule to keep track of my rabies shots, then the booster dose, and I was paranoid. I think it happened over 2 months.
I know,
that-
I've had one.
Yes.
But I have been bitten by a cat, which strangely nobody has been.
And I was so paranoid that it has led to a certain fear. I was, I think, more comfortable earlier with dogs. Now, even in my society, because they are dog lovers, they feed them, we've all cooperated with it. But there have been times when post-sunset I have to go back to my society, I have to call up a family member. It may sound weird, but a male member sometimes to say that, I'm in the parking, I've parked my car, but these pack of dogs are here. Can you just
I do
come
the
and
same.
assist
Yeah.
me
You have
till
trauma.
I reach my home?
You have trauma.
Till my
Yeah.
home.
Fair
But
point.
again, the fact is, how many of us actually can just walk out and know we will not be attacked? It is a class issue, Preeti. How many of us ask anyone? It's not just about going for a walk. People have work they come back from. You cannot walk out. And I don't know how it has happened that we've not been able to control the population so we can coexist together.
One thing, there's no doubt that dog lovers, feeders need to step down from the high moral ground that they sit on and are in complete denial what the ground realities are. That is pertinent and we need to look at that. What we need to address, Sneha, is cruelty the solution. Because that I don't think is the
manner
solution.
You know,
This
I
is
think,
happening.
I think the Supreme Court really, and I said this at the very beginning also, is coming from a place of frustration. It's clear that they know that this is something that they were supposed to do. Ye nahi kiya to ab ye to karke dikhaye. So essentially the dogs are going to, I have not an iota of doubt that we are really, the condition of the infrastructure is beyond dismal as far as shelter homes are concerned, and who's going to take care of them? What about their food, the budget to maintain these shelters? Again, another big
It'll
issue.
just be corruption.
So who's doing it? There will be
They'll be
corruption.
pocketing it, that's
I'm not
it.
saying it is the ideal situation, but I think this is the only possible situation.
Can I give you some examples? Can I give you some examples?
Who are they going to trust?
Let me give you an example. I'll give you some examples. One, there was an incident when in Jaipur they tried to do this. They said, we'll pack up all the dogs, we'll throw them in shelters. First, of course, all the dogs died. Second, there was a plague breakout. Why? Because of rats and rat bites. If we're okay with rat bites, let's go ahead and do this. Secondly, in IIT Madras, which is where I've studied, so I know this. In IIT Madras, they said, let's take all of the dogs out of the campus, put them in shelters. These shelters, they didn't allow anyone inside. So people who were taking care of a lot of these dogs went there to check what's happening.
Okay.
Nothing.
I
And
got
so what did they
last
find? That
few
all
minutes.
of the dogs were dead.
Okay, last few minutes. Gaurav, why don't you come in? Anisha, you can come in again. But Gaurav, the fact is, it's not that we haven't done this before. It might have not come in as a Supreme Court order. I'll give you an example. G20. You and I both remember we covered the stories of dogs being hauled across the national capital, put in shelters. Yes. Many of them died. And that was not even a Supreme Court order.
So, because things haven't gone right in the past does not mean they cannot be set right in future.
Yes.
There's no Martian from outer space who's going to come and sort out your problem. It has to be sorted out in the society. So all these dog lovers should themselves volunteer. They should also go out with the MCD. When MCD is catching dogs, make sure it's being done in a humane way. When it is not being done in a humane way, then you pull them up
But
that
it's not
time.
their responsibility,
pay taxes,
So
Okay,
again, I'm not being allowed to
everyone is
complete my
allowed
point.
10 seconds,
When
allow him to
everybody
finish.
else speaks, I keep quiet. When I
just
speak,
interrupt. One
everybody
second, guys.
just interrupts.
I have 2 minutes
No.
before my other show
So
starts.
one
literally
minute.
interrupt.
So
1
by-
second. Got it. Make
Exactly.
your point.
So
Make
the
your
point is,
20 seconds
you
and
keep
then
an
you
eye
come
on
in.
the system. If the system is not functioning, you work to improve it. But lamb the system, it's so bad, nothing can be done about
Because
it.
nothing
So
has
let the rabid dog
But
be
the
on the
owners
street
cannot
is not an
follow it.
argument.
But the
It's
owners-
just not an argument.
Rabid
And-
dogs cannot be on the street. Let's be very clear about
we're
that.
all saying
Whether
that, but
it's
God wants
rules,
to
whether
only
it's the
handpick that.
municipal corporation, whether it's the animal lovers.
And
a
let the
rabid
animal
dog
lovers also do
has-
so much
rabid
more
dog
for
has
dogs
to pay
and not
taxes.
just in
Okay,
words.
I think
That's it. Everyone
That's
pays
it.
Not
taxes.
just in words.
It's not like,
You know,
animal lovers
take-
and
take
animal
that abandoned
welfare
dog from a kennel,
organizations
take them
one
home.
second.
are
Okay, now
supposed
you
to be
bring- you
part
bring it.
of the
Let
law.
Lawrence start shooting them dead because he doesn't want strays
No,
on
no,
the
take
road.
them home.
Second,
No,
guys,
you
time
should
out.
अपने घर ले जाओ.
Time out.
Shoot them dead
Okay,
now.
I just want to
अपने
end.
घर ले
I
जाओ.
just
People will start
want
shooting them
to.
dead
Yeah.
also.
Okay,
Yeah,
one
because
second.
that's what
Okay,
they want.
Because if they get bitten, Akshita,
Okay.
people will also react.
So that is
Okay,
why
I
they
wanna-
get bitten.
dog
Time
lovers
up.
should take the dogs
Guys,
home.
hard
No,
cut.
you should
Time
also
up.
shoot them if you don't want
Hard cut, Akshita. Time up, and we're going to leave it at the fact is also, viewers, for those of you who want to adopt little Amy, she was adorable. And if those of you who want to adopt little Amy, do write to us because she's up for adoption and she's a cutie. We're going to leave it at that. But viewers, on the larger issue, we are glad, as a society, we are glad that the Supreme Court has picked up the issue because it is a genuine problem that not just Delhi-NCR is facing, but we are facing across the country. Dog menace is a problem, especially in the Delhi-NCR region. But the question is this the solution? If not, then what it is? Let's try and find that solution. Let's not, try to believe that there is no problem, because there is a problem.